Hi there, this is Ranjit, and in this video, we'll be doing the full in-depth review for this Google Pixel XL. And I've been using this device now for almost 2 weeks, and I'll be sharing my experience. And I'll divide this review between the good things about the Pixel XL and some of the things that I did not like about that. So it's the pros and the cons. And I won't go in depth regarding the physical overview and other aspects of this device, because I've covered all those aspects in my unboxing video. Here are the specs for your reference. But let's divide this review between the pros and the cons. And the first thing I have to say is that this device is one of the most fluid Android experience that I had with any Android phone. It's a very seamless experience that again you will expect because this is a very expensive device. Again, it's one of the most expensive Android phone that you can buy, certainly the premium range. But in terms of the UI and the experience, it's very fluid. Again, the touch sensitivity is also great. So again, you won't notice any lag or whatsoever. So it's a very good fluid experience that I have noticed. And the Google also gives us a new launcher, which is again exclusive as of now for this Pixel devices. And again, it's also very fluid. And again, we have a new functionality. Again, this is specific to some of the Google apps. If you hold the icon, you get more options. For example, in the settings, if you hold, you can directly go to the battery or data usage and toggle between Wi-Fi and stuff. It doesn't happen for every app, but Google has now opened this API to third-party developers. So we should see this sort of functionality even more. So I like that functionality. And again, as I've told you, it's a very fluid experience. Again, with Pixel, we also get the Google Assistant, which is, I would say, a souped up version of Google now. It's a lot more powerful. And if you just tap this button, the Google Assistant comes to life and you can ask questions to it. And it's more conversational, I would say. For example, let me give you a demo. If you just tap this. Who is the president of India?
The president of India is Pranab Mukherjee.
When was he born?
He was born in Marathi on December 11th, 1935.
What's his age?
80 years old.
So as you can see, I didn't have to constantly ask president what's his age or whatever. It remembers that. So it's a little bit more contextual, I would say. But again, if you use Google now a lot, you will like this assistant. As of now, you can experience this assistant if you download the Google Allo app. But again, with this Pixel, it's system-wide. So you can access it from anywhere. In fact, even when the phone is switched off, I've disabled it because I'm using a smartwatch. But even when the phone is switched off, you can just say the hot word, OK Google, and the assistant comes up and it can answer you stuff. So it works throughout the OS. Again, as I've told you, if you use Google now a lot, you'll really appreciate the Google Assistant. I don't know if Google will introduce this assistant in other phones, but as of now, it's an exclusive for the Pixel devices. Now, moving to the next thing that I really liked about this device is the battery life that I'm getting on this Pixel XL. Yes, it has a big, massive battery. And in terms of screen on time, I was getting a screen on time between 5 to 6 hours with my typical usage. And this is with almost 24 hours of usage. In my normal day-to-day usage, I was charging this device once in about 1.5 days. So in terms of battery life, I was really impressed. Even when I was completely on Wi-Fi data, I managed to get about 5 hours of screen on time. And on Wi-Fi, it can go up to about 6 hours of screen on time. So the battery life was very good. I'll talk about the charging later on. And the next thing is that some of you have asked, yes, it does have a LED notification light, but you have to actually enable it from the settings. By default, it is switched off, but yes, it has a LED notification light. Next thing I also checked is the cellular call quality. And I have to say, the cellular call quality that I was getting on this Pixel XL was excellent. I had no problems of muddy calls or anything like that. The earpiece is also very good. So crystal clear voice calls. I'll talk about the speaker performance later on. That I was not very happy, but if you take calls from the earpiece, the experience was very good. Call clarity was excellent. And even in terms of network reception was also very good. But again, this is a single SIM device, so no dual SIM support or a micro SD card. Next, if we move to the camera performance, here I have to say this Pixel XL excels. And let the sample stock. Here are some of the pictures that I've taken with the Pixel XL. And as you can see from the sample shots, the performance was very good. Even in artificial lighting and indoor lighting conditions, which is sort of difficult, the Pixel XL nails it. And by default, it takes pictures in HDR plus mode, but you don't have to worry because generally with other phones, if you enable HDR and stuff, the pictures taking capability is slow, but here it's not the case. Even in the HDR mode, for example, I'm in the HDR mode and you just tap and it takes the picture. And it's really fast. The moment you tap, it takes the picture irrespective of the lighting conditions. Even in low lighting conditions, the shutter speed was very good. So in terms of camera performance, I was hugely impressed with the camera performance of this Pixel XL. I also compared it with iPhone 7 and the Galaxy S7 in very low lighting conditions, and I have to give the edge to the Pixel XL in low lighting conditions. Now moving to the front facing camera, even the front facing camera, which is an 8 megapixel shooter, does a very good job, as you can see from the sample pictures. Now if we move to video, it can record video up to 4K and standard video in 1080p at 30 fps and 60 fps. Though it does not have any optical image stabilization, it employs electronic image stabilization with gyroscope, and the result is very good, as you can see from the sample shots. But one thing that I have noticed is that in video, if you do a lot of panning left and right, then it tends to skip a few frames. And also, if you shoot a lot of video in direct sunlight, there is a problem of lens flare. Google has acknowledged this. They are going to release a patch regarding the lens flare. But regarding the panning, it can get a little bit juddery. But if you take the video straight and move around, even handheld, the EIS and gyroscope stabilization works very well. Now moving to the fingerprint scanner, it has a rear mounted fingerprint scanner, as you can see. And the fingerprint performance is also very good. As you can see, if you just tap on it, it unlocks. So it's very responsive fingerprint scanner that is there on this one. And also if you swipe this like this, you can actually toggle, bring down the notification bar like this. So it's pretty convenient in my opinion, and that works very well. And now if we talk about the build quality, again, the build quality in terms of in-hand feel, it's very solid. It feels premium, I would say. But again, in terms of design, I would say the design does not inspire me. It feels like a mixture of the iPhone 7 and the HTC 10. So it's sort of a boring design in my opinion. And also the chin at the bottom is very big in my opinion. Now talking about the display, it has a 5.5 inch Quad HD screen, which is an AMOLED screen, and the screen quality is also very good with excellent viewing angles, and the AMOLED screen quality is also very good. In fact, it's made by Samsung. So excellent screen quality, and even I tested and used this phone in outdoors in direct lighting conditions, and the screen was visible if you enable auto brightness setting. Now let's move to the things that I did not like with this Pixel XL, and these can be sort of deal breakers. So let's go over them. And the first thing is regarding ambient display. Whenever you get a notification, it just comes on the display for about 2 seconds and goes off. That's great, it works. But again, if you just pick up the phone or do anything like that, these notifications don't light up like the Nexus 6P. So if you miss them, you sort of miss them. You just can't enable it. For example, with Nexus 6P, the ambient display was done very well. Whenever you picked up the phone, it used to show you the notifications. That's not the case with this one. Even the iPhones with iOS 10 now does that. So Google should enable that functionality. Now moving to the loudspeaker, it has just one speaker here at the bottom, and it's in a very odd position, I would say. And the thing is that it's not very loud. So it's sort of disappointing in terms of the speaker output, in my frank opinion. If you're coming from the Nexus 6P, the Nexus 6P had far better speaker performance. And also when I kept, even when I am keeping the ringtone volumes at max level, the ringtone volumes are simply not that good. And it has just a mediocre speaker in my opinion. Now moving to the in-hand feel, again it has having a 5.5 inch screen, but I feel the phone is a little bit wide for a 5.5 inch screen, and you have to actually stretch your hands a little bit on this one. It's like the iPhone 6s Plus, because I have even used the Note 5 and the Note 7, which had a 5.5 inch 5.7 inch screen, and they were more comfortable to hold in the hand in terms of the width. So it's definitely, the width is slightly on the higher side with this Pixel XL. Now moving to the charging time, though the charger that is supplied on with this device is a fast charger, but I timed the charging time. It charges from 0 to 70% actually really fast in just about 1 hour 30 minutes. But for charging it fully, I timed it from 7% to 100%. It took me 2 hours 5 minutes. So it's not the quickest. So I am assuming from 0% to 100%, it'll take around 2 hours 15 minutes. So technically it's not very slow, but again, it's also not that fast in my opinion. Also, I do not like the fact that this phone is not water resistant, unlike many of the other competing products. Now even the iPhone 7 is water resistant, and the Galaxy S7s, S7 Edge, etc. are water resistant, but this Pixel XL is not water resistant. Also, as of now, this phone does not support Reliance Jio VoLTE. They might enable it with a future OT update, but as of now, VoLTE support is not there for Reliance Jio. I tested that. And lastly, talking about the price, certainly it is a very expensive phone and one of the most expensive Android phones out there. This Pixel XL starts at 67,000 for the 32 gigabyte variant. And if you want to go, there is no 64 gigabyte variant, and there is no micro SD card slot. So if you are a heavy user, you would have to opt for a 128 gigabyte variant, which is again very expensive. So certainly a very expensive Android phone. But in terms of day-to-day performance and fluidity, it's a very fluid phone. And also in terms of camera performance, the camera performance was also very good. So certainly if you're looking for a most fluid Android phone and your budget is not an issue, you can certainly have a look at the Pixel XL. But again, it's not a perfect phone. There are some shortcomings, particularly I don't like the speaker output. And again, as of now, no VoLTE support. I hope you found this video review helpful. Again, if you found it helpful, I'll appreciate if you can click the like button. And if you're not subscribed to my YouTube channel, hit that subscribe button. Thank you. This is Ranjit, and I hope to see you in my next video.